Good morning and welcome to lesson 6. The sun, as you can see there, is just rising. Look like E.T. Ah. The sun's just coming up and it's a nice chilly morning here. I thought I'd sit out here on the Jesus Rock. We had a student staying with us here for a while who came out and sat on this rock. I don't know if you can, I won't move the thing because it took me ages to get it balanced. This is a very lumpy rock and it's not comfortable on my bum, but there's a bit of a cliff here directly behind me. It drops about probably only about 20-30 foot, but on the property. She sat here one night in great turmoil praying to Jesus and had a revelation. So we've called it the Jesus Rock ever since. All right, so lesson 6 is I am upset because I see something that is not there, which is interesting because this is the first of the lessons that sort of points to the idea that what I think I'm seeing is an illusion, both in the way in that I've made it up by giving it the meaning that it has for me. So it's my own interpretation that I'm seeing and my own, I'm getting the results of my thinking of what I've projected out and getting back, but it's not actually what's there. And then it's the to take it to another level. So the course goes from the dream of death to the forgiven dream, and then into revelation, which is there is no world in its entirety. And that's the central lesson that the course teaches. And if you are into quantum physics or anything like that, the cutting edge of quantum physics is now looking at the idea that perhaps we don't even exist at all. So how you prove to yourself you don't exist through science, I really don't know. But through revelation, through having a experience of your true self, of your spiritual nature, it's not difficult to then picture in your own mind that the world around you is nothing but an illusion, a fabrication, and that I'm caught in a kind of coma. Can you hear that? So the idea that, let's imagine I'm in a hospital bed somewhere else, and we'll call it eternity for a second, and I'm dreaming all of this. And it doesn't actually exist. It's not really real. It's just a fabrication. Right? So much like in the movie The Matrix, where he wakes up out of the red jelly and realizes that his whole life has just been virtual. So... And I guess that's a big step to take, but when you have an experience of the actual matter-of-factness of the virtuality of temporal living, it's like Jesus says, this is not my home, I'm not from here, and where I go, you're coming too, but maybe not just yet, because you're not quite ready. So, well, I'm fucking ready, I'll tell you. But it is one of the harder concepts, it is one of the more broader concepts to try and get your head around, but first, let's use this workbook, and I'm using the white version today. You can see the dove on the cover there. The white edition, which is the new one that the Thetford Foundation's just put out. Part B is the workbook, which I'm using here, and Part A is the text. So if you already have A Course in Miracles and you're interested about the text because that's where the changes are, you can grab Part A. But if you don't have it at all, then Part A and Part B will be what you need. So, lesson 6, I'm upset because I see something that is not there. The exercises with this idea are very similar to the preceding ones. Again, it is necessary to name both the form of upset, anger, fear, worry, depression, and so on, and the perceived source very specifically for any application of the idea. For example, I am angry at blank because I see something that is not there. I am worried about blank because I see something that is not there. Today's idea is useful for application to anything that seems to upset you and can profitably be used throughout the day for that purpose. However, the 3 or 4 practice periods which are required should be preceded by a minute or so of mind searching, as before, and the application of the idea to each upsetting thought uncovered in the search. Okay, so there's a conscious minute or so of searching your mind for things that piss you off. So my friend Arlene had a moment this morning of the grandchildren playing video games, and when there was lots of housework she needed help with, etc., etc., and it pissed her off. And then she had a miraculous change of mind about it and made a declaration. So, very cool. Again, okay, in the thing. Again, if you resist applying the idea to some upsetting thoughts more than to others, remind yourself of the 2 cautions stated in the previous lesson. There are no small upsets. They are all equally disturbing to my peace of mind. And I cannot keep this form of upset and let the others go. For the purposes of these exercises, then, I will regard them all as the same. Right? It doesn't matter whether you stub your toe and it causes you pain, anger, upset, whatever. I'm so stupid, I kick that thing every time I make the bed, blah, blah, blah. Or whether it's something enormous, like somebody stole my car, I'm fucking pissed. Doesn't matter. They're all the same. Inner peace is perfect inner peace, or it's not inner peace at all. There are no half measures in salvation. And, you take your mind with you wherever you go. So what you're wanting to ultimately take with you into every situation is a peaceful mind, or a mind that's in transit, right? So it doesn't do any good to jump ahead and say, oh, I'm studying inner peace now, oh, look at me, oh, that doesn't work. It's like you've got to find yourself and allow yourself to be vulnerable in every situation that shows up for you during the day, so you can be honest about how you really feel. No, it fucking shits me. I hate this bloody situation, this event, this particular thing. Right, be honest about it. It doesn't do any good to put on the spiritual bloody robes and burn the incense and then, no, nothing, namaste. I know plenty of people like that. And I shouldn't laugh, but it is funny because I was probably a bit like that once myself. All right, so lesson 6, I'm upset because I see something that is not there. So 1 minute of mind searching, let's say, and then 3 or 4 times during the day. All right, so we're going to apply the lesson morning, mid-morning, afternoon, before you go to bed. I always find before you go to bed is helpful because in the same way that you would start your day by giving it to God, right, first thing, before your feet hit the floor in the morning getting out of bed, just sit quietly, offer your day to God. I want a day of peace. I don't know how that's going to happen. I need a miracle, right? Just let it happen. And then you'll find that you're in a state of vigilance for that inner peace throughout the day. And when something disturbs it, you'll be more happen chance to recall to do your lesson rather than if you just start the day off like, ugh. So, and then at night, if you're doing your lesson at night, before you go to bed, then you can offer your dreams and offer your nighttime, offer your sleep, okay, to God, offer it up like that. So, that's pretty funny. I'm easily amused by anything. Let's push the sun up there a bit. All right, so a minute or 2 of mind searching, and then the cause and how it makes you feel. So Joe Blow who stole my car, and I feel really pissed off about it, right? But I'm upset because I see something that is not there. I'm worried about, well, I'll apply it to these 2 anyway that he's got here in the book. I'm angry at Joe for stealing my car because I see something that is not there. I'm worried about the state of the third world because I see something that is not there. All these sorts of things. So whatever pushes your buttons, whatever you find in there. And really that's it. So determination, perseverance. If you're doing these lessons, I know it's heavy and very wordy, right? A lot of the text, and if you're not reading the text in conjunction with these lessons, I highly recommend it. But the text, the lessons make sense of the text. All right, so when you read lesson 6, say I'm upset because I see something that is not there, your first reaction is going to be, well, of course I see something that's there. That's fucking ridiculous lesson. What do you mean it's not there? Right, but when you've read the text and you start to get a general sense of the idea of the virtual nature of life, or the illusory nature of our physical dreaming, I love Australia because of the cultural identity that's associated with it here. We have the oldest, I think it's the oldest indigenous peoples on the planet. which goes right back in their time to Gondwana, you know, and the original, the very first dreaming, right, the dreaming of the world. And within that, our peoples here say, I'm walking my dreaming, or he or she is they're walking their dreaming of this or dreaming of that. You know, it's my fishing time dreaming, or it's my my journey time dreaming, or something like that. You know, and it's consciously, you know, maybe not so much in the younger people, but in the older generations, definitely it's consciously there. You know, and even in Western culture, you know, like we walk around with our eyes closed most of the time, and our minds just blanked out by capitalism and all these things that the world tends to try and tempt us to get involved in. But the idea that we're on a journey of the soul, that there's some greater purpose for us, is something that's been prevalent in human consciousness since the dawn of the fucking first dawn. You know? And finally, we've got a way to actually consciously be involved with lessons and things that tell us how we should be using our minds. You know, I'm angry at Harvey Norman because I see toasters and things I think I need that aren't there. Don't need all those things. If you have all that stuff, fine. If you don't have all that stuff, doesn't matter. But you don't need it. You know, there's a lovely bit in the book here that says, I couldn't tell you where it is, but it talks about where you go into a shop and you buy things you don't need and don't even really want. It's like the mind's just habituate. Oh, look, something shiny. You know, oh, look. All right, I love you. It's going to be an awesome day today. Be happy. Just be happy for no reason. I'm always happy for no reason. Don't need a reason to be happy. You can just be a happy person. I love you.